Is it recording?
Yeah, right now.
I dig it. What's going on, YouTube world? Austin Lewis here, coming to you guys live with my next video. I apologize. A lot of you guys have hit me up on Instagram, said, Austin, why did you quit uploading videos on YouTube? And I just went through a transition phase of moving into a different apartment, getting our office. As you can see behind me is our actual office. And next to me here, I have the man, the myth, the absolute freaking legend, Sebastian. I'm excited to share with you, obviously, what he's got, the knowledge that he has. You know, I've known him for a couple of months now. The dude's an absolute beast when it comes to e-com, when it comes to online, when it comes to, you know, sales, when it comes to anything that has to do with online. I like to call him the man, the myth, the legend, simply due to the fact that he's a beast when it comes to that. So I'm excited for him to at least share, you know, a couple tips, things, you know, share with you his story that he's had. You know, obviously super young guy. I feel like a grandpa compared to him. 19. It's wild. Wow. The crazy amount of success that he's been able to achieve. I can only imagine where he's going to be when he's actually my age. So I kind of just want to share with you guys, you know, hear his story, and then obviously we can dive into some tips. What is Shopify? What is, you know, e-com, and how he's been able to make the money that he's been able to make, and then obviously some things that he's got coming down in the pipeline for you guys that are maybe interested in e-com. We'll be able to obviously plug his YouTube channel. If you don't already follow him on YouTube, you can go ahead and do that. And then he's actually got a course, and I actually just went through his course last night. And I obviously, for the followers that know me, I don't do e-com whatsoever. Obviously I have plenty of online businesses, but I went through his course last night, and it literally taught me step A to Z on what is e-com, what is Shopify, how to grow my business, how to start my business, literally the A to Z on what to do without knowing what to do now to what I needed to actually do to get started and be successful in it. So we'll go ahead and plug that in the description below as well. But Sebastian, kind of just like share with us a little bit about your story, and then we can just kind of dive into it, man.
All right, so for those of you that don't know who I am, I started about like maybe a year or so, maybe a year and a half ago. Started out with Shopify. Now, for those of you that don't know what Shopify is, basically Shopify is a platform that builds a website for you, and you could basically set up a website around a certain product that people are interested in and then sell them that product. But the cool part is you don't actually have any inventory or anything like that. When people buy from you, you go and buy from a Chinese wholesale website much cheaper and then ship it directly to their house. So the whole done deal, it's all done on the laptop. You don't have to literally, all you have to do is just run ads and fulfill orders, and then you keep the profit in between. And if you do this well enough, you can keep like 50 to 60% profit for each order. And if you run ads well enough, you could literally just increase the scale, the budget of your ads on Facebook, and you could do this at a much higher level. So a lot of people ask me like, okay, Sebastian, I'm doing about $100 a day gross, and that's about, you know, 40 to 50 bucks a day net on Shopify. How do I get, you know, to a couple of grand a day? And literally the advice that I give them is just increase the budget on your ads, but be very careful when you do this. And literally, if you spend 100 bucks a day on ads, you can yield about $1,000 in return. And same, you know, if you yield 150 bucks to $200 a day on ads, that can get you to $2,000 to $2,500. And it's actually a pretty simple process. Not easy, but simple to understand. So I learned it pretty quickly. It took me about 2 months. My first month I made $5,500. And then now I'm probably, if I were to start a store today, you know, in about a day or two, I could probably get it up to a couple $1,000s, and I could probably get it to like $20,000 to $30,000 the first month with that store. And also I have a bunch of softwares too. So I'm looking to bring in a couple $1 million this year in revenue, and then next year maybe somewhere, you know, 8 figures, maybe around 10 million is my goal. I'm 19, I'm turning 20 in January. Look how hyped up he is, he's smiling over here. So yeah, it's pretty cool. It's super interesting. Just the whole online world is absolutely insane. It's bonkers how it's possible. And many of you that are watching this video right now may be a little bit cynical, may not think that making money online in any way, shape, or form is possible. But let me tell you, anybody that has an app, and there's hundreds of thousands of apps, anybody that has an app that's successful, that has downloads, and they run ads, those people are making a crap ton of money. Like literally any product that you could possibly think of. I know mops. There's this new kind of mop that one of my friends was dropshipping, and he told me about it, and he was literally making $3,000 to $5,000 a day, depending on the day, selling a mop to people. A mop to single, you know, to moms that like cleaning their house because they have kids. So it's stupid stuff like that, and it's super possible, and it's actually kind of ridiculous. And I'm not gonna lie, I was a little bit cynical before I started, but I mean, like I said, I'm bringing in a couple million this year, so I'm definitely not cynical anymore. All you have to do is change your mindset and kind of get into it and run ads and test things, and you'll start to see for yourself that it's kind of wild how the whole internet world works.
I love it, dude.
Yeah.
So what do you think like was your pivotal point in what made you get want to get started in drop shipping? Like what was that initial like, hey, I want to do this?
Like drop shipping over anything else?
Yeah, over anything else.
I just like the idea of no inventory. Drop shipping is really like the least risky business you can start right now. Like it will literally cost you about $300 to start. I mean, everybody has $300, right? And the only thing you'll be spending your money on is a couple of apps just to increase your store's conversions, and that's, I mean, you know, ads. That's pretty much it. So that's it. You don't have to pay for any product until somebody buys it from you. Okay, that's the cool part. You don't have to buy any products until somebody comes and buys it from you. And that's really, really crucial. And that's why it does make it the least risky business. Because compared to Amazon FBA, you know, you could have a product that you think is going to sell really well, and then you have to buy them from Alibaba and ship them to Amazon warehouse, which that's going to take a month and maybe $1,000 to do because you have to buy a certain amount of products. But with drop shipping, you could literally test a product. You can go on Instagram and run a shout out for a product, and if you don't make any sales, well, you spent 10 bucks, you know, 20 bucks, and now you know that it doesn't work, and you can scratch that product and try something else. But if you find a good product, you can, you know, do the same thing, go to Instagram, do a shout out, and say you make 100 bucks, great. Now you know that that product is winning, it's doing well, you can sell it. You can take it to Facebook, take the data that Instagram gave you, and then just scale up with ads. Literally the whole process can be done in about a week.
That's crazy, dude.
Yeah, now with the knowledge, obviously, you know, I have a lot of knowledge on it. I've been doing it for years. Thaddeus, one of my good friends, has a lot of knowledge, has been doing it for years. When you start out with, you know, you're going in blind, it will not take you a week. You know, it'll probably take you like maybe 2 to 3 months to get your first $1,000 to $5,000 a month with Shopify. But I mean, right now, if I started a store, you know, I could have it up to 10 grand in the first week.
Yeah. Hey, you don't have to be great to start. You just gotta start to be great.
Yeah.
Right.
Man, you always like everything you say could be a bumper sticker, dude. I swear.
The one-liners, I got them down, dude. Thanks to network marketing. That's where I learned all that. Okay, so like a new person that obviously maybe is interested in e-com and they want to get into Shopify. They've looked at Amazon FBA. What's like? I guess maybe for me actually, because I don't even know if I know this answer. What's like and maybe this is a dumb question, but what's the difference between Shopify and Amazon FBA?
So Amazon FBA is basically you're selling your product on the Amazon marketplace. So it's just going to pop up there. The difference between Amazon FBA and Shopify is when you have a Shopify website, that's your own store. So say for example, if I wanted to sell a very particular lamp, okay, like a lamp of Jupiter or something like that, something super very particular, I would create an entire store dedicated to that lamp, and the entire store would be it would literally accent that product. But with Amazon, it's just like, you know, you go search a product and then you can buy it. So that's why it's cool with Shopify, because you could create an entire feeling around a certain product, or one single product even, because I even have stores that have one product on them and that's it. You can create an entire store that gives off a feeling about one certain product and market that product to anybody interested. And it's actually kind of maybe even easier to sell than Amazon, because on Amazon there's going to be so much competition.
Yeah.
Like if you want to sell a certain product, there's going to be tons of people that are also trying to do that. But on Shopify, you could be your own person. Like you could be unique and you could do your own thing and then just run ads. And obviously, you know, if your store looks good enough, people will be like, oh crap, this is really cool.
Yeah, that's really cool.
So that's kind of the difference. And also, you need inventory for Amazon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So I see that. That would make sense. And like you said, like especially for like a beginning entrepreneur that's just wanting to get started in e-com or just wanting to get started in the entrepreneur world, to have a business that is a startup that's $300 max to get started and literally no risk. Like what you said, like being the middleman is what you are.
You are the middleman.
In Shopify, you are the middleman, and if that person doesn't purchase that product, then you don't have to purchase that product. So you're not risking anything. You're not risking your $40 for that lamp or $30 for that lamp. Like until they buy, you know, then obviously you don't have to put in any money.
And even if you do have trouble with ads and say you can't get them to cost, you know, lower, and say that your margins are like maybe, you know, you're expecting them to be like 10 to 15 bucks profit per product, but they go down to maybe like $3 to $5. Even if you are not doing well with ads and you get that ad out to 1 million people and 1 million people buy your product, which if it's a mop, you know, that's very possible.
Yeah.
And even if you make $1 or $2 and you sell it to 1 million people, how much money did you just make? Yeah, exactly. And that could be done, that could easily be done in probably 3 months. In 1 quarter of a year. Because you just have to be careful when you're growing your ads to make sure you don't spend more than you make. But that's what I'm saying. A very, very general product, you could sell it to 1 million people, and even if you don't make a lot of money, like, you know, even if you have small margins, it's about the volume and you'll still make a crap ton of money, which is kind of nuts to think about.
I like it. So getting started in Shopify in early in your career, when did you, because obviously for the people that don't follow him, he's got a GTR. I'll tag his Instagram in below, called Godzilla.
Godzilla.
Right? Godzilla. It's a beautiful car. I love riding in it actually, for sure. And so when, like, getting started in Shopify, how many months did it take you to purchase, obviously, that car with just getting started in Shopify? I mean, what's crazy to me is you're 19 years old. And you got started a year ago, so you got started when you were 18.
Yeah.
And within a matter of a year, you already have your first exotic car.
Yeah.
GTR.
You know? Lamborghini soon too.
Next. Yeah, exactly.
And I'm actually one of the youngest millionaires in Arizona too.
Yeah.
It took me about 5 months to get my car.
5 months.
Yeah, so 5 months to get my car.
I dig it.
I could have bought it a lot sooner, but I didn't. But the day, I think what it was for me was, I think when I made the first month that I made 60,000 in a month, net, not gross, that's when I was like, all right, I think that it's safe. And I had more than enough at the time in my bank account to completely buy cash, even though I didn't. But I wanted to leverage, you know, my money and also build credit. So
I love it.
I was just like, all right, I have enough to buy the entire car, so I might as well
Might as well do it.
just finance it and you know, whatever.
100%, bro. Build your credit. I love it. So what? Just ending this video, just so we don't stay too long for these guys. What would be like one key that you'd love to leave? Maybe even just not even just somebody that's interested in e-com, but just your average entrepreneur. Like,
okay. That's a good one, yeah. So average entrepreneur. A lot of people will assume that the space is already taken and you can't go out and do it. And a lot of people watching this will see me and say, okay, there's obviously a huge difference between me and you. And let me tell you, the only difference is the fact that I don't think that there's a huge difference between us. You think that there's a huge difference between me and you, but I don't, because we're all people here. The only difference is that I'm actually going out and every single day I'm doing something. Right, and I don't believe that the space is saturated, and I don't believe that, you know, it's already too late or the dropshipping trend is over. It's never been a trend. People have been dropshipping since 20 years ago, and people will still continue to dropship in 20 years unless the whole world goes to shit. So the biggest deal here is 98% of people watching this, right? Out of 100 people that watch this, 98 people will not do anything. So if you tell me that it's competitive and it's saturated, but 98% of people won't do anything, then I'm gonna call you crazy.
Yeah.
Because literally, there's no competition. There's such little competition. So go out there and start it. I mean, you're not gonna get successful your first time, obviously not. But if you keep on going, you know, eventually you will. If you keep on doing the wrong thing over and over and over again, there will, at some point, no matter what, you will run into something right. So. That's my advice.
I love it, dude. Definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result.
Right.
Right. So to calculate those, what's created you a little bit of success, and what are your failures or what are your learning experiences. Tailor that, and then go out there and create your success. Right. So
exactly.
I love it, dude. Well, thank you so much for obviously being on the channel too.
Of course.
You're a beast. Go follow him. Again, I'll post his links down below, his YouTube, as well as his course. If you have any remote interest in his in being a part of Shopify or starting a Shopify store, definitely get his course. Like I said, I literally went through the entire thing last night. He's got incredible content in there. The man, the myth, the absolute legend. Here he is.
So go ahead. I was gonna say, I just wanted to say the way the course is outlined is actually, it's designed in weeks. So week one will obviously be very simple information, and then as you go, the information will get more and more complicated. So I designed it that way for beginners specifically, and it is a very, very beginner-friendly course in the first half, and then an intermediate course in the second half. That's why that I believe that it actually is one of the best courses out there. And also, it is, I show you guys how to take a store from 0 to 1,000. So I actually do that. I actually film myself taking a brand new store from A to Z, and then getting $1,000 in revenue, and that itself will pay for the course.
Beautiful.
That video itself. So
there it is.
Yeah.
All right, guys, if you haven't already, make sure and subscribe, make sure and like, and comment what you liked best below, obviously, of the things that he's shared. That way somebody else that obviously watched this video can take a look at your comment and see if they missed something. So with that being said, guys, I appreciate you guys. I love you guys, and we'll see you guys in the next video.
Peace out.